Peace, peace, love. What's going on, people? This your boy, Sincere. But greetings, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate anybody who tuning in. I really do. Um, it's a great time for me right now, man, to even be able to do this. To be honest, man, I feel good to be able to do this and put some of this information out. Just an idea I came up with to help bring people up to a good basic understanding of how if you look around you in the world today, some people got questions as to how this shit get so fucked up, because some of us could just go back to where we was babies and say, some not right, right? So what I got pulled up right here in front of me is it's just a real quick overview of a prophecy that was given in the time of Egypt, and it's called the Dire Prophecy about Egypt. People who want to check this out, you can pull a quick, small excerpt of this up on Google Play, right? It won't give you the full book that this was taken out of, but it will give you, that small excerpt of the prophecy, right? So you can check that out. But I'm gonna start this way because we in a backwards world right now, man. We in a backwards society. We in a society ran by ignorance, right? Wickedness, which I believe ignorance and wickedness goes hand in hand, right? Or evil and ignorance, in a sense, go hand in hand. So we're in a society that's run off that by people who refuse to question reality. And I think it'll help if we can understand how we get here. How did some of this take place, right? And this might hurt for some people, but I want to pull up something real quick. I want to start this off by going into something right here that I had pulled up on Wikipedia, right? And it's on Christianity, right? So in case y'all need to see this, we're going to go up. And if you're Christian, right? Right? And it says a person who follows or adheres to Christianity, a monotheistic Abrahamic religion based on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ, right? So and if you read this right here, the words Christ and Christian derive from the Greek title Christos, a translation of the biblical Hebrew term Messiah or Messiah, right? While there are diverse interpretations of Christianity which sometimes conflict, right? We're going to highlight this because this is going to later become important, I feel like, y'all. So we're going to highlight this. So it says, while there are diverse interpretations of Christianity which sometimes conflict, they are united in believing that Jesus has unique significance. The term Christian, now we're going to highlight this. The term Christian uses an adjective, is descriptive, used as an adjective, is descriptive of anything associated with Christianity or Christian churches, or in a proverbial sense, all that is noble and good in Christ's life. It does not mean of Christ or relating to or pertaining to Christ. Right? So we're going to go down, right? Because that's not even what I was really touching on. I want to try to look at the etymology of the word. And I want to really kind of start this off right here with this etymology of the word, right? Because I think that's important. So we're going to go with this etymology. And we're going to read this. And it says the Greek word Christianos, meaning follower of Christ, right? Comes from Christos, meaning anointed one, with an adjectival ending, borrowed from Latin to denote adhering to or even belonging to, as in slave worship, y'all. We gonna highlight this, right? We ain't gonna sit and act like this shit don't say what it say now. And I got a question for anybody watching this. What do you call a person who look at this and somehow refuse to accept that they see this? You get what I'm saying? A person who will read that and still argue. You get what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that? Like what's the term for people like that at this point, right? But because it's just getting out of fucking hand at this point, for real. If you ask me, to have shit like this right in your face and you trying to argue for what? Especially if it's some shit that you don't even know where this shit came from. You hear? And niggas want to argue the shit. The shit is getting out of hand at this point, nigga. But, you know, and we're going to read this here. I'm going to highlight it. Right? It says, in the Greek Septuagint, Christos was used to translate the Hebrew Messiah, meaning one who was anointed. See what I'm saying? Now, reason that's important is because we see there was some arguing over this shit, because how the fuck is why was the Messiah translated into Christ? Right? Because if the word was Messiah, which the Jews still waiting on, they goddamn Messiah, if you ask them, they not waiting on no motherfucking Christ. Right? So who gave you a Christ when you supposed to have a Messiah? Ha ha. See what I'm pointing out to y'all? Who gave you the Lord of Jesus Christ when you supposed to have a Messiah? And I'm gonna tell you why you supposed to have a Messiah. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you why you supposed to have a Messiah. I just made a note, so I can come back to that for y'all. But somebody, basically, instead of them putting Messiah, they put Christ. Is that possibly how you end up with an antichrist, or a anti-Messiah, false Messiah? You know the narrative. You know, you've heard the stories like I have, so you know what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is there's been only one person who have come and said they're the Christ, and that's goddamn, or the Messiah, and that's goddamn Jesus. So he got to be the false Messiah, point blank goddamn period, in the goddamn discussion. Ain't shit to talk about. Ain't nobody else said they the one and only goddamn Christ, and ain't no other Christ but them and all this other shit. Or supposed to be the Messiah, or whatever they saying. You see what I'm saying? And you got to go get into the Greek mythologies, into how Zeus overthrew the Titans, right? Right? Which is a lesser deity setting itself up as God. Facts. Facts. The whole Zeus mythology is based off a lesser god, Zeus meaning Jesus too, right? Same name, Jesus, right? Setting himself up as God, even though he was a lesser god, because we know in this story he overthrew the Titans, right? So let's get into some of this. And I had to start with this, man, because we need to get some of this out the way. Some of us know this, some of us don't. For those who didn't know that, there you go. But we got to keep moving. We got to move forward. We need to take this information and keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? We don't got time to be debating this type of stuff when it's too clear as day, right? And maybe that can help some of us leave the Christian church shit alone, right? Since we know what they own. So, get into how the slave master has set himself up as Christ. Because that's what happened, y'all. That's what I'm telling you happened. The slave master set himself up as Christ. I'm telling you that who you calling the Lord Jesus Christ is the slave master. Matter of fact, I believe it's a slave master that already died, and you still worshiping the spirit of that slave master, which is a spirit of fear, right? I believe that no, ain't no motherfucking believe. Niggas worshiping the spirit of fear in the image of a false Christ called Jesus Christ. Because we got to understand what Christ means, right? And we're going to get into this. Christ is just a symbol. So a false symbol of what the fuck the Christ is has been given when they gave you Jesus, and they also gave you fear as the spirit that's connected to that deity. You get what I'm saying? So fear is your God at this moment, in a sense, from how they done did this shit with the root chakra. They gave you Satan, red root chakra, right? So we're going to get into some of this, man. If y'all be patient with me, man, I will say that it's going to be a lot of back and forth for me, like where I'm going to dibble here a little bit, dibble that a little bit, but everything going to be connected because all of this is going to tie into this false one who then came and tricked the planet. This beast, this colonizer who has come and took the planet, divided and conquered the planet, right? And we're going to get into some of this, y'all. So, hope y'all ready, man. Grab everything you need. Let's get ready to get this show on the road, baby. So, let's go. All right? Let's get this shit going. Real quick, I just want to ask y'all, why do you think I started this presentation off with this right here, y'all? Why do you think it is that I started this with showing you the etymology, meaning the origin to the word Christian in the sense of what we use it? Because I showed you that it tells you there's an adjectival meaning an adjective is used to describe something. Right? That's what an adjective is for. So they're telling you that this word was tweaked in a way to describe slave worship and slave ownership. Right? You might want to know, why is that, right? And I'm trying to tell you, somebody came and did that on purpose, right? And I'm also telling you that there was a foretelling or a prophecy, right, of this person's coming, right? So we're going to get back to this prophecy, right? Because like I'm saying, it was a prophecy of this person's coming, right? And because we know it was a prophecy of this person's coming, right? So we're going to go to the prophecy, right? And we go read this prophecy, his prophecy about Egypt, right? We're going to read this. I'm going to go back through this once again after this. But right now, I just want to go through this prophecy because it is a long prophecy. So I just want to be able to read the whole thing one good time to give everybody an understanding of what this prophecy spoke of and the time that was supposed to come at that time. So I'm going to go and read this. I'm going to revisit this, but I want to just go and run through this. And then the second time, I'm going to walk through this and I'm going to stop here and there to explain some of what this prophecy is giving you, right? So let's go on here to start here where it says, are you ignorant, right here? So it says, are you ignorant, O Asclepius, that Egypt is the image of heaven, or which is more true, a translation and descent of everything which is governed and exercised in heaven? And if it may be said, our land is truly the temple of the whole world, right? Nevertheless, because it becomes wise men to foreknow all things, it is not lawful you should be ignorant that the time will come when it may seem that the Egyptians have in vain, with a pious mind and sedulous religion, paid attention to divinity. And all their holy veneration shall become void and of no effect. For divinity shall return back from earth to heaven. Egypt shall be forsaken, and the land which was the seat of divinity, shall be destitute of religion and deprived of the presence of the gods. Right? We just finished there. So we're going to go here. For when strangers shall possess and fill this region and land, there shall not only be a neglect of religion, but which is more miserable, there shall be laws enacted against religion, piety, and divine worship. They shall be prohibited, and punishment shall be inflicted on their votaries. Then this most holy land, the seat of places consecrated to divinity and of temples, shall be full of dead bodies, basically. O Egypt, Egypt, fables alone shall remain of thy religion, and these such as will be incredible to posterity. And words alone shall be left engraved in stones, narrating thy pious deeds, right? And then it tells you the Scythian also, or Indian, or some other similar nation shall inhabit Egypt, right? For divinity shall return to heaven, and all inhabitants shall die, and thus Egypt, bereft both of God and man, shall be deserted. I call on thee, O most holy river, and predict to thee future events. Thou shalt burst forth with a torrent of blood, full even to thy banks, and thy divine waters shall not only be polluted with blood, but the land shall be inundated with it. And the number of the dead shall exceed that of the living. He likewise who survives shall only by his language be known to be an Egyptian. Damn. Right? So it say only he who survives shall only by his language be known to be an Egyptian. But by his deeds he will appear to be a stranger. Why do you weep, O Asclepius? Egypt shall experience more ample and much more worse evils than these, though she was once holy and the greatest lover of the gods on the earth, by the desert of her religion. Let's see. It says, and she who was alone the reductor of sanctity and the mistress of piety will be an example of the greatest cruelty. Then also, through the weariness of man, the world will not appear to be an admirable and adorable thing. This hold good, a better than which, as an object of perception, there neither is, nor was, nor will be in danger. Right? So it say this whole good, a better than which, as an object of perception. Right? So they're telling you this whole thing of Egypt, this glorious place, right, will be in danger. And we're going to go here, and will be grievous to men, right? Hence, this whole world will be despised and will not be beloved, though it is the immutable work of God, a glorious fabric, a good compounded with a multiform variety of images, a machine of the will of God, who in his work gave his suffrage without envy, that all things should be one. It is also a multiform collected heap capable of being venerated, praised, and loved by those that behold it. For darkness shall be preferred to light, and death shall be judged to be more useful than life. Damn, I'm gonna read that again. It is also a multiform collected heap, capable of being venerated, praised, and loved by those that behold it. For darkness shall be preferred to light, and death shall be judged to be more useful than life. Facts. That's what we seeing today, y'all. No one shall look up to heaven, right? The religious man shall be accounted insane. See how it is when you talking this true shit to these niggas, y'all? They think you insane, nigga, talking that shit. The irreligious shall be thought wise. Ooh, shit. The furious brave and the worst of men shall be considered a good man. Facts. Tell me this shit ain't so. Tell me this ain't what the fuck happened. Look what it say though, y'all. For the soul and all things about it by which it is either naturally immortal or conceives that it shall attain to immortality comfortably to what I have explained to you, shall not only be the subject of laughter, but shall be considered as vanity. That's why we in a world where they don't know what a soul is, y'all. You could talk to them about it, they don't even know, right? They tell you that when you talk about the soul, for the soul and all things about it, right? It tell you shall not only be the subject of laughter, but shall be considered as vanity, right? Believe me likewise that a capital punishment shall be appointed for him who applies himself to the religion of intellect. See what I'm saying? New statutes and new laws shall be established, and nothing religious or which is worthy of heaven or celestial concern shall be heard or believed by the mind, right? There will be a lamentable departure of the gods from men. Noxious angels will alone remain, who being mingled with human nature would violently impel the miserable men of that time to war, to rapine, to fraud, and to everything contrary to the nature of the soul. Damn, see what I'm saying, y'all? It say, then the earth shall be in a preternatural state. The sea shall not be sailed in, nor shall the heavens accord with the course of the stars, nor the course of the stars continue in the heavens. Every divine voice shall be dumb, right? By a necessary silence. The fruits of the earth shall be corrupted, nor shall the earth be prolific, and the air itself shall languish with a sorrowful torpor. These events in such an old age of the world as this shall take place, such irreligion, inordation, and unreasonableness of all good. When all these things shall happen, O Asclepius, then that Lord and Father, the God who is first in power, right? Which is the niggas that's coming up out this shit right now, right? And the one governor of the world, looking into the manners and voluntary deeds of men, and by his will, which is the benignity of God, resisting vices and recalling the error arising from the corruption of all things, washing away likewise all malignity by a deluge, or consuming it by fire, or bringing it to an end by disease and pestilence dispersed in different places, will recall the world to its ancient form, in order that the world itself may appear to be an adorable and admirable production, and God, the fabricator and restorer of so great a work, may be celebrated by all that shall then exist, with frequent solemn praises and benedictions. For this genitor of the world, right, is the reformation of all good things in the most holy and religious restitution of the nature of it. The course of time being accomplished, since time is perpetual and always was without a beginning, for the will of God is without beginning, is always the same, and is everywhere eternal.